I'm Jesse McQuarters, editor of Step Brand Studio, and today I'm joined by Linda Choi MacDonald, Executive Vice President and Global Head of Commercial at Samsung Bioepis, to discuss the future of biosimilars and their role in building a more sustainable healthcare system. Linda, welcome.
Thank you, Jesse.
Tell me, how do biosimilars contribute toward a more sustainable healthcare system?
Biologics are highly effective, but they are costly medicines, representing approximately 46% of the total drug spend in the U.S., despite representing only about 2% of all prescriptions. They represent a significant portion of the overall drug expenditure. By introducing biosimilars, we drive down the cost of treatment for patients and healthcare systems alike. This broadens access to life-saving treatments, which is especially meaningful for patients with cancer or rare disease conditions who have limited access to treatments due to high costs, or patients with chronic conditions who require long-term care. Lower costs also enable payers and governments to allocate resources far more efficiently, funding additional healthcare needs as biosimilars provide legroom for that next generation innovation by really driving down the cost of these expensive originator biologics.
Yeah, it's always so surprising to me that most biologics that are losing patent exclusivity over the next decade have no biosimilars in development. Why is that the case?
We know as an industry that there is a massive biosimilar void in the near future where the large majority of high-priced specialty biologics do not have a biosimilar candidate in development, as approximately 90% of the 118 biologics losing exclusivity in the next decade currently have no biosimilar candidates in development. The US and Europe are major markets for biosimilars, but there are a lot of factors that are misaligned to incentivize biosimilar competition. First, in the US, on top of the burdensome regulatory requirements, reimbursement challenges and uncertainty related to price controlling measures such as the Inflation Reduction Act contribute to the uncertainty in just business viability. And for developers to continue investing in biosimilars and high-cost categories in the future, there just has to be a level of confidence in the market that it will support lower-cost biosimilars when they are approved years down the line.
Can you tell me about the difference in investment and some of the other factors at play when developing biosimilars?
While developing a generic may cost only around $1 to $3 million, developing a biosimilar can range from $100 to $300 million and above. On top of that, there are extensive patent protections and strong commercial incentives that really need to be challenged. When the reference product generates billions in annual revenue, they have the resources to really fight against the biosimilars. And then finally, there is also a high degree of regulatory complexity, where biosimilars go through rigorous comparative efficacy studies when they have already proven its robust analytical and pharmacokinetic data versus their reference product.
So, Linda, we've laid out the problem. What can be done to address the significant gap in biosimilar development?
Addressing the biosimilar void requires both policies and systemic reforms, such as more predictable and efficient regulatory pathways, and better support for manufacturers through incentives or subsidies. There also need to be stronger market signals, such as placing biosimilars on preferred formularies to ensure they really have meaningful market access.
What would strongly incentivize pharmaceutical companies to enter or re-enter the biosimilar market, especially for biologics that are set to lose exclusivity?
It's crucial that we create a clear and predictable market ecosystem where biosimilars can succeed. This includes streamlined regulatory processes, subsidies or other incentives for biosimilar development, and stronger reimbursement policies that prioritize biosimilars. Educating healthcare providers about the efficacy and safety of biosimilars can also build trust and encourage higher adoption, making the market far more attractive to manufacturers.
What role does Samsung Bioepis play in this evolving landscape of biosimilars, and what's next for the company?
Samsung Bioepis is a proven leader in biosimilars. Our track record speaks for itself. We offer one of the broadest portfolios in the industry, spanning immunology, oncology, ophthalmology, hematology, nephrology, and endocrinology. We've never received an FDA warning letter and have never had a supply disruption. As part of the Samsung Group, we're built on a foundation and DNA of quality, efficiency, and reliability, which goes far beyond everyday household electronics. So looking ahead, we'll continue to lead by shaping the just evolving biosimilars landscape, driven by science, guided by expertise, and grounded in our commitment to making high-quality treatments accessible to all.
Linda Choi MacDonald, Executive Vice President, Global Head of Commercial at Samsung Bioepis. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat today.
Thank you very much, Jesse.